Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, June 27th. I'm Sonia Srivastava.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Glad to have you with us here tonight. Well, throughout the country and locally, people continue to react to the historic Supreme Court rulings that came down yesterday. The justices voted against part of the Defense of Marriage Act, giving gay married couples the same federal rights as straight couples. They also ruled 5-4 in the Proposition 8 case, which clears the way for lesbian and gays to marry in California. Thousands celebrated the decisions in front of the Supreme Court yesterday. However, an Upper Marlboro pastor says he's disappointed in the outcome.
What's going to happen in the culture is we're not going to get help from the media. We're going to have a battle in the schools where folks are going to try to go into our schools and tell our kids at 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, this thing over here, this is a family to be sought after as well. And I believe the confusion that's already in all communities in America about what is a family, how do we create a great one, is going to proliferate. So the church has got to step up. Community organizations are going to step up. And if we don't fix this thing, I say quality of lifestyle for blacks and then for Hispanics goes down, and we have reached our highest height in terms of economic freedom and those kinds of things in our nation.
In a statement, Senator Barbara Mikulski applauded the High Court's rulings and says that she congratulates the gay community on its victory.
Well, the chief executive for Prince George's Schools has been named. County Executive Rashawn Baker has tapped Anne Arundel County Superintendent Kevin Maxwell for the job. Maxwell taught for 22 years in Prince George's before serving as principal of Walter Johnson High School in Bethesda. He was named Anne Arundel County School Superintendent in 2006. In a press release, Baker says, quote, Dr. Maxwell cares about Prince George's County and is committed to ensuring that our school system is amongst the finest in the state. The announcement comes less than a month after Baker was given authority to name a school's CEO and 3 new members of the Board of Education by the General Assembly. A spokesperson for Citizens for an Elected Board says they question the timeline of the process as a telephone town hall meeting for public input was just held 3 weeks ago. Now, the group says they don't know how Maxwell's education and policy matters and calls for an appointment, a quote, disdain for the public. Maxwell will replace former Superintendent William Hite, who left last year. Interim Schools Chief Alvin Crawley is expected to help in the transition. His contract has been extended through August 30th. Now, a formal announcement will be held tomorrow at Northwestern High School. CTV News will be at the press conference and bring you the very latest.
After-school sports at local middle schools could be revived if proposed additions to the 2014 budget are approved. Interim Superintendent Dr. Alvin Crawley wants to add $24 million in spending costs that were not in his original budget. Just over $1 million of that could go toward restoring sports programs like soccer and lacrosse, which were eliminated 2 years ago due to severe funding cuts.
One of the things that we heard when we conducted the budget forums throughout the community was the need to bring back middle school sports. So when the team came back together to develop the budget, we put forward a recommendation to reestablish middle school sports in our middle schools. And that budget amount was around $1.1 million in order to cover all of our middle schools.
And the additional money reportedly comes from a series of cuts, reductions, and savings to the budget. Some of the funding could also be used for additional bus drivers, full-time pre-kindergarten, and additional reserves for union negotiations.
And speaking of schools, the new school year is around 6 weeks away. Now, officials are encouraging families to register their child early since classes start back up on August 20th. Now, deadline for first-timers and transfer students will be the day before. High school students have until August 8th to register. The process requires families to provide proof of residence and immunizations. Parents with children from pre-K to first grade will have to verify the child's age. Now, for more information, you can register. You can log on to www.onepgcps./registration.
Family and friends came together for a candlelight vigil last night to remember the 19-year-old man who died after drowning in the Potomac River. Hundreds came to Nagotequay Fort Chick's former Montgomery County High School just hours after officials recovered his body yesterday morning. Authorities say the Tacoma Park resident was hanging out with friends at Purple Horse Beach in Great Falls when he slipped and fell into a deep water area Monday afternoon. He could not swim. Forchick was a criminal justice student at Prince George's Community College.
Meanwhile, a home goes up in flames in the 6800 block of James Farmer Way in Capitol Heights. Now, officials say the fire started in an attic crawl space and extended to second and first floors. Homeowners have not been located by fire officials, so no word yet if anyone is displaced.